Hey, I mean, kumbe you can just sleep with a job and wake up with no job. At all.
Hey, mazi.
Can cheat, can die.
Actually, I think everybody in Kenya was shocked. Nobody knew the president would pull such a move. Nobody knew.
Okay.
Nobody knew.
Kudos to him, but now the big... what were you saying?
But coming to Ababu Namwamba, as the question of the day is, to my view, I think I'll give it 50-50.
50-50.
Yes. Ababu Namwamba has tried to shape sports in the country.
Yeah.
And he promised after the league to end, he promised that kutakuna so many changes, which alisema in terms of, let me talk about football. In terms of football, the players will get money, the teams will receive money, the sponsorship will be there. You know, those are some of the promises zenye alikuwa promise. So we don't know kama the guy who is going to replace Ababu Namwamba ataendelea na mkondo huo. But for me, I think Ababu Namwamba has been overworking himself. We have been seeing Ababu Namwamba everywhere when it comes to sports, everywhere when it comes to matters youth. Despite ile challenge alikuwa nayo when he chose the, what do we call it, the people to run the Talanta Hela, the wasanii, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's where he got it wrong, and that's where Wakenya was what Ababu Namwamba did. But for me, I'll give it 50-50. I think it's a guy who was sometime back in Kibaki government. He was there as a sports CS senior, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And he did nothing. But
we decided to give him the opportunity and chance to do nothing again.
But again, he came back. He tried to justify himself by promising so many things, which I'll give it just 50-50 because I've been seeing Ababu Namwamba everywhere, promoting sports everywhere. But one thing I think alikuwa mwogopa ni kuingilia sports sana because alikuwa mwogopa tubaniwe. But for me, ukiniuliza ngingilia tu, wacha tubaniwe hata kama ni 5 years.
Yeah.
So that football ikirudi na tukame imekuwa streamlined.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, for me what I can say is that you see, for me, I rooted for him. And I remember, if people can just run my tweet up, the moment the president announced the CSs who are going to handle the specific dockets in the country, when Ababu was selected to be the sports CS, I tweeted it.
You were happy?
And I was happy. But again, just reflecting down behind
happy
days,
because
Ababu was selected because I felt some sense of there's
somebody home ground.
No. All home ground factors down. I felt that we have been given somebody who can at least relate to sports. That is one, because you've mentioned he was in a previous government in that particular docket.
Yes.
So probably I had in my mind that, you know what, this is somebody who knows what he's going to do. But again, he came in and dressed the attire of this particular government. The tutatenda, tumetenga, itakuwa. You see? And I was very bitter with him. Because during his tenure, we have seen a lot of things which we've never seen in our lives.
Correct.
We have seen Kenya Harambee Stars play home away from home. Something which I don't think we'll ever see again. And we've only seen during his tenure. And we have seen players complaining about their delayed dues. Referees. We have seen the issue of bringing a cash, what can we call it? Cash promise. Because you performed well. Then it's not being delivered. Yes. My whole point is, we are putting a lot of politics in sports. And it ain't making sense at all.
Yeah.
Which now bounces back to the question which you're going to ask. And I'd honestly want to pose it to you and also DJ Peruz over there. Who do you think should be put at that particular docket? We don't have to mention names. We don't have to say leta danto zama nini. As in, to my opinion, my question actually goes to you guys. Now Liza, mnafikiria, should we have a technocrat? Should we have a sports person? Because I've been following the conversation on X, and we are even getting a lot of people saying that we should have they're even tagging sports journalists, they're even tagging sports administrators. So what do you guys think is the best approach? Because we've been talking about this particular matter, and when we are not keen on it, we'll be chasing away the devil and putting in the devil's father.
Very correct. Okay, for me, I think that's a very good question. Even by the way, I wanted to ask you that question. I don't know, maybe we read mind yangu, but for me, I think, you know, the problem is if you put somebody who has never been in sports, or if you put somebody who has been in sports, two things. Somebody who has never been in sports atakuja pale kuangalia tumbo yake. I'll give you an example. Somebody like Nick Mwendo, when he came to FKF, if you saw Nick Mwendo's manifesto the day this guy was campaigning, ungesema sasa huyu ndio deputy Jesus. The guy promised us heaven
on earth, and he barely even gave us the ground.
Nakwambia this guy, yani mpaka watu nasema hata Irisam, ukisikia mtu na compare Irisam Nyamwea bro, you should ask yourself so many questions.
You remind me kwa ex mtu alicompare akasema we are saying Ababu has done has worked. I'd rather have a Rashid Chesa.
You know, let me tell you one thing. And if you put somebody in sports, the same guy in sports, for me, if you ask me, not all of them, some of them. So we need to be very careful who the president is choosing there, because if you choose somebody who has been in sports and is doing poorly, life yake is doing poorly, believe you me, the guy will just go there to enrich himself or herself.
Okay, then Dantos, how
for
about
me? You know, for me, I'd rather go for somebody like, let's say, a sportsman. We have so many of them. We have somebody like Paul Terragat. He has been in sports. Somebody who is being respected worldwide. That guy, for me, if you ask me, become a president, who do you want? I'll suggest Paul Terragat.
Paul Terragat.
Yes.
How about, because it doesn't make sense, you know, we at times we are afraid of spitting out the truth, and we are afraid of getting hurt, but eventually we just get hurt.
Yes.
How about we clear this whole system? Because the likes of Tergat have been in the system.
Yes.
No offense to them.
Yes.
But they have been in the system for the longest time. So if they were in the system and change had not happened, it means that they are not supposed to be there at the end of the day.
But you know, someone like Paul Terragat, he has been, the guy is known worldwide, and when it comes to corruption, I've never had anything to do with corruption.
You've never had, but you see, Dantos.
And then Paul Terragat, there is a tournament, how do we call it? This award that normally goes on in Itwangaji. This for sportsmen and women. Soya Awards. Soya Awards, that guy has been managing Soya Awards, I don't know, for the last 7 years.
But again, we've still had
Have you ever had somebody complaining about that I won Soya Award but I was not paid my money?
Okay, Dantos, you see, my problem is, I'm not trying to dispute the fact that you're saying he hasn't had some issues in his docket.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is the fact that you've been in the system.
Yes.
For a long time.
Yes.
Then we've had the problems. Then we are just trying to recycle you. But my point is, don't recycle. We have a lot of players, we have a lot of sports administrators, which reminds me that we are also hosting Eugene today, who is somebody who is a sports administrator, so we'll be telling us more in regards to his take. So my point is, right now there are a lot of people who are well equipped, well knowledgeable. Bring the whole system, bring in some new blood into the system. Don't bring somebody who was there, because we've seen him ever since I don't know when. But and we still have the mediocre behaviors there. Get rid of them all.
Okay, I agree.
Get new people to do that job. You see the problem with us Kenyans, people who are not afraid to execute. People who are not afraid to execute.
I think you're right 100% right. But also if you see the sports docket is sports culture and whatever, I think we need just to have a sports only.
Sports should be put independent.
Sports.
But how about, because we also only. Here for the sake of wasanii.
Yes.
You know, we've complained about sports, na pia wasanii on the other hand, they've had the same complaints, same complaints ever since I don't know 20 when. I've had the issue of wasanii wanapata sijui 30 bob. I don't know ever since when. How about we come up with structures and we have different committees, in the sense that wasanii watoe committee yao, here when it comes to sports, we have rugby itoe committee yao, football itoe committee yao, netball itoe committee yao. We now have experts who are dealing on grassroots levels, and in terms of football, in terms of rugby, in terms of basketball, then now they all be answerable to one important figure. Sasa kuna mtu mmoja juu yao, so that it becomes whenever we mess ourselves out, we are the ones who did that mess on our own. Well, let's try and curb this issue of people waking up and saying we want our person to be there.
Yes.
Because what people are making noise right now is because they've never seen their people there. And the people who are there actually complain. The people who are there and their players and they're also Wasanis complain that they cannot do their job because they are under people who don't understand them, because those people are never even players or they were never Wasanis.
Yes.
So let us take them. Personally, I was supporting the bid of even the FKF presidentship. There was a day I said it loud and clear that we should give Dennis Oliech that particular docket. And that nilipingwa sana. Because they were saying he just played football, he's not an administrator. For me, I advocate for a person who has been there.
But you know, we have so many guys by there that can be on FKF. Where's somebody like James Tuma is doing very well. And also we have, yes, Oliech can do. Not every sports person can manage football here in Kenya. Let's first of all agree.
But now put them in respective committees.
Yeah, maybe that can work.
Yes, so let's just take not everyone a leader.
Not everyone is.
They can aid in terms of leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, let us take that short musical break, and when we'll be back, we'll also be wanting to hear DJ Perose's intake in regards to this particular matter. Yes, so DJ Perose, tupeleke mbali na mziki.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.